Hey everybody, welcome to the Rise or Die podcast with Stephen M. Lowisz, episode 40, The Enemy. So I believe that every individual has the same enemy. It's the enemy that creates fear, that creates doubt, that creates scarcity. I think all of us have the same enemy that keeps us from expanding and leaping and rising. I think we all have the same enemy that's keeping us from getting what we want, what we need, what we desire. The enemy is that little voice inside your head that says you can't do it. The enemy is the little voice that says, "What the fuck were you thinking? You're a worthless sack of shit. Who are you to do X, Y, or Z?" That voice, though, that voice causes destruction in our lives. It stops us from believing in ourselves. It stops us from doing what we know we need to. It stops us from working as hard as we know we need to work because it tells us, well, what's the point of working? You're a sack of shit. It's not going to work anyways. It's the voice that says your marriage can't get any better. It's the voice that says you will always be a fat piece of shit. It is the voice that keeps you away from connection with God, connection with family. It is the voice that keeps you from a full bank account. We all have the same enemy. It's that little voice inside our head that tells us we can't do something. I struggle with this daily. We all do. The only difference is I'm willing to run into the dark, whereas most people believe that voice. What I mean by running into the dark is I'm willing to confront the enemy. I'm willing to hear what he has to say and then tell him to shut the fuck up. Whereas most people, unfortunately, and I'm nothing special, I've listened to this enemy for far too long, for my entire life. But now I'm willing to run up against it, butt heads with it, tell it to fuck off. I'm willing to choose to believe the other voice. The voice that says, you can do it, why not? You can have a better marriage. You can have it all. You can have it all across body, being, balance, and business. You can absolutely have it all. What's stopping you? Just put in the work. That's all you got to do. Put in the work. Trust yourself. That's it. Most people ignore both voices, though. See, they find this really corny. And in a lot of ways it is. I'm not going to argue with that. In a lot of ways, this is very corny. But this is like the biggest epiphany, if you will, that I've probably ever had. The epiphany that although it's a little bit of a cliche, although it's a little bit corny, a lot of bit corny, you have two voices inside your head. And you ignoring them and even dismissing the idea that you don't have these voices, you're failing. You're causing yourself failure. What voice are you listening to? Are you listening to the voice that says this is as good as life gets? This is the pinnacle of life. If you're listening to that one, you know what? You're a self-fulfilling prophet. That is all you're going to get. You will never reach your goals. You will never have what you desire. And it's the difference between the voice of abundance or the voice of scarcity. I've talked about this before, but I really want to drive this point home. The difference between you and Bill Gates or Michael Jordan or fuck it, Michael Jackson, is they listen to the voice of abundance, not the voice of scarcity. Do you think that they thought they could pull everything off that they did in their lives? No. Heck no. But they were willing to confront that voice. They were willing to push through it. They were willing to say, fuck off. I'm going to do this, and there's nothing that can stop me. That is the difference. I'm going to wrap this up. This is short. Normally I hit about 10 minutes. I'm at 6. But I want you to take the next 4 or 5 minutes and just think about, what voice are you listening to? Do you even buy into the idea that there's two voices arguing for the greatest mental space that you're willing to offer them? Really think about this. Across body, being, balance, and business, are you living based on the voice of scarcity or the voice of abundance? As always, do someone a favor, share this podcast with someone that you want more for out of their life. Number 2, sign up for some of our exclusive content at riseordiepodcast.com.